Now we will study some print statements. Why so? Because it is asked many times, you don't notice it, but it's asked many times in your returns. Fine. So I will run it one by one. Wait a second. So this is the my number b equal to a by 2, that is integer. Fine. And my age also integer, the number is 5. Fine. So I can print b or a, anything. I am will print both of them one by one. Just see my print. Now see the b equal to a by 2, that is 7. Fine. Because 7.5, answer is 7.5, and b is our integer, so it will be converted into only 7. Fine. It won't go in the approximation to the 8. It will go to the 7 only. Fine. It won't reach the 0.5 as well. So 7.5 is 7, not 8. First of all. Second thing, I am printing 13D. I am printing, look, I am printing what I am printing? 13D. Percentage 13D. Why? In that means here you can see the 7 is after 12 spaces. Why? Because, wait a second. So you can see here for the 7, for print with you by using the percentage 13D, we fix the 13 size to print a number. A number should be printed in that 13 space. Fine. But we print from the right hand side only. So there are 12 spaces, then 7. Fine. Got my point? Hello? Now in the now again I am printing. Now see the same thing with the 13D. Next line I have printed 013. 13 is the same, but I wrote 0. So that means now it is printing 12 0 and 7. Amreen, please turn off your camera. So that means 13 space is fixed. First 12 space, the number is only 7. So remaining spaces are 12. Those 12 spaces are filled by 0 only. Fine. In the next two lines, you will see I am using the font size is fine for you, or should I increase it? Hello? Should I increase the font size? No, I think it should be visible to you. Now I am using -13D. I am using -13D, and I am not only using the number, I am not only printing the B, I am also printing the A as well. Fine. So in the next line, again I am using the -13D, but I am printing only one number. So see what will be the output now. Here you can see in the next line, in the 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth line, I am printing minus. I am using -13D. So 12 spaces are fixed, 13 spaces are fixed, but we are printing from the left hand side. But you can say it is not visible to me because there is only 7. where is the remaining 12 spaces. So for that purpose, in the last line you can see I used 13D minus 13D and I am printing 7, that means B and A both. Now with because of minus 13, 7 is at the left hand side of the those 13 spaces. Now next 12 spaces are free. Then value of A is printed, that is 15. So is it clear to you? Hello? Please unmute yourself and tell me so I can move on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have done print. The mostly question comes from this point here. Fine. Now I will print the float value. Fine. So see the float. I have given some number, this one, very big number. Now when I print only, wait a second. Now you can see I am printing the number C, but it is not displaying all the floating point number after the decimal value. So it is printing only 6 values. So by default, by using percentage %f, we can print only 6 value after the decimal point. Fine. So I am getting the 15.388621, whereas my number is 15.3886213214. So that was the huge number. And after that, I am printing some other line. Next line you can see here now again. I used 0.2f. I am using 0.2f for instead of percentage %f. I am using 0.2f. The 0.2f tells us print the value, print the floating point number only with the 2 decimal points. So here you can see answer is 15.39. The actual number was 15.388621. It approximates that number and 388 converted into 39. Fine. So now number is, we are printing 15.39. Remember this, when we are using the decimal value to print a float number, in that case, it will always print a approximate value. Fine. Fine. So I hope you got this. And next I am going to show you again the same thing, 13D and 13F. 13D, 13F, 13F. I think I have wrote the same thing twice or thrice. Okay. Now see the third line. In the third line, I have wrote percentage 13D A. A was our number 5. That means in the previous program, I have told you with the 13D, it fixed the 13 spaces for that number and the number will be printed. Number is our 5. So 12 spaces will be reserved and it won't be utilized. So here you can see that is 5. After 12 spaces, there is a 5. When I use 13F for printing the number C, it again utilize the 13 reserved places. It again utilize 13 reserved places. Here you can see it end at the same place where the 5 previous number A, which was integer 5, was ended. So it is printing like this only with the number 13. Fine. Next line is same. Then after that, I used in the last one, you can see here, you can see I used 0. I used 0 before 13. So what it does, it will print 0 before the actual number, because there are 4 or 5 free spaces in that number. It will print zeros there. These questions based on the floating point are very asked very frequently in the written test, and you ignore this all the time because you thought अरे क्या है ये, but it gives you 2 to 4 marks every time everywhere in all the companies, even the IIT Bombay test, whatever you take all the time, this question has been asked many times. Fine. After that, I am using, should I you comment the earlier line? Okay. I have written the number of as well in the output, so you can see the output. Now I will focus on the, I am focusing on with line number 7 and line number 8. In line number 7, I am using minus. In the integer also, we have seen with the minus in the 13 spaces or whatever space you want to give, it starts to print from the left side. So here you can see it is printed from the left side, but we don't know the remaining spaces are free or not. So to show that, I am printing two numbers together. With minus 39 I am printing C, and with percentage D I am printing A. So with this you can see in the last line, after the printing of 15.38861, which is value of C, there are some free spaces before the comma because 13 spaces was reserved for it. Fine. That's why it is, we are giving minus 13. If we don't give the minus 13, in that case, answer would be little bit different. Let me show you. If we are not using minus 13, then it will show me output like this. You can see the free spaces are at the left hand side. If we are using the minus, then free spaces would be at right hand side. Fine. Now, in the next three line, you can see, wait. Now we are focusing on the line number printf, these three lines. So in percentage 13.5f, that means I am printing the value up to 5 digits after the decimal. In the next line, only 2 values after the decimal. In the next, 13 spaces are reserved, and we are printing from the left hand side. Fine. So let me run this again. We will focus on the 9, 10 and 11, even in the 12 also. In the 9, I am using percentage 13.5f. You can use 13 instead of 13. You can use any number. So 13 spaces are reserved. Out of 13 spaces, 5 decimal number are printed. After the point, we are printing only 5 decimal number 38862. That are 5 numbers. So and remaining spaces are remained free. So in the next line, you can see in the 10th line, I am using 13.2. So in the 13.2, you can see 13 spaces are fixed. That's why it is ending in the same place in the last one. You can see, compare the 9th and 10th. They are ending at the same spaces, but here free spaces are more, and we have printed only 2 values after the decimal. So that is even, and that is approximate value, because our actual number was 15.388. Now it is converted into 15.39. When I use in this line minus 13.2, minus, I have used minus. So in that case, this number 15.39 goes to the left hand side, and these spaces comes into the right hand side, and after that new number or new value will be printed. We can also print the value in terms of E. You can see here our number is printed in terms of E here. So I hope you already know the floating points number can be printed as a power also. So we can print that by using percentage E. Fine. So the printing of the floating point is clear to all of you? Please reply. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So is it useful for you, or you guys already know that? My next program is printing the string also again. It is the simple thing. Now, here you can see we use, I am not teaching string right now. String is a very different topic and it is very lengthy topic. I am just trying to show you how it prints. Percentage S is used to print. I think you already know that. So with the hello world percentage S, the whole string will be printed. Now I am using percentage 10s. So what will it does? Will it reserve the 10 spaces? And if the string length is bigger than 10, how will it perform? So we need to see that. See, in the first case, printf1, you can see percentage s, that is very simple. It is printed hello world. Fine. Now in the second case, you can see our word is, our length is more than 10. Our length is more than 10. But I have provided only 10s. I have provided only 10s. In that case, when the space you provide, which is less than the string, the whole string will be printed. It overlaps, it outperform the reserved space. It will go outside the reserved space also. That's why the whole string hello world is printed even though you have given only 10 spaces. In the third line, we use the minus 10, but length, our string is already uh, larger than the 10 spaces. So automatically it is going to print from the left hand side. Now our length is less than 25. So we need to see how our string will react in this case. Percentage 25s. Now in the case of percentage 25s, you can see our string length, which is around 5, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. Our string length is 13 right now. So you can see 12 spaces are blank at the left hand side. And when I am using minus 25s, in that case, these spaces comes in the right hand side. Fine. So this is the concept which is used in the integer, float and string as well. In all three cases, these spaces are used. The number after you use, after the percentage, that is for reserved spaces. Fine. Now, in these two lines, you can see I have used the word 0.10. Even though it is not float, I am using 0.10 and 0.30. Fine. So that is output number 6 and 7. In the output number 6, you can see it is not printing the whole string. It is printing only 10 characters. Because of 0.10, it is printing only 10 characters of that string, not whole string. So remember this, try to practice it. It will print only 10 characters instead of everything. When I am using 0.30 as 0.30, 0.30 means 30 length of the string, but our string is already less than 30, so whole string will be printed. Fine. So you can see the seventh output is hello world whole. Now in the 8th and 9th, I have given 15.5 as 15 before the decimal value. That means you are reserving the space of 15, and after the point there are 5. That means you will printing the string of only 5 characters. So here you can see you have reserved the space 15 spaces you have reserved, but you printed only 5 words, starting 5 words, that's our minus, that's our hello, that's our hello. So we are not using the minus, that's why spaces are at the left hand side. The same code if we does with the minus value, in that case, you can see the 5 characters are printed, but space value comes in the right hand side. Fine. So that's all for printing statements, print formatting that has been asked in many companies in many written tests. So